Perhaps you've seen a hot air balloon in the sky before, but never really thought about how they work or where they came from. This adventure dates back 2 centuries and takes us thousands of feet into the air.
Ballooning's been around for a long time.
When you look up in the air and see a hot air balloon, do you ever wonder how or why? The story begins in the late 1700s.
It started in 1783 over in Paris, France. The Montgolfier brothers, they were linen makers that noticed that smoke would fly up from the fire. And so they decided if they could contain that smoke in a bag, or an envelope as it's called, they would contain that smoke and let it go up, because they saw that go up and they thought it was a magical, something magical.
Joseph and Etienne Montgolfier thought they had discovered a new gas, but in fact it was just simply air heated up. And that wasn't the only thing they stumbled across.
And they actually would dig trenches uphill, cover them with sticks and dirt and everything to make a tunnel. They would fan the smoke up there into the balloon and fill the balloon with smoke. But the smoke actually created a soot coating on the inside and plugged the pores of the fabric so that it would hold its air. Then they would launch that thing with an onboard fire to keep it warm. And the blacker the smoke, the better they thought they would get lift.
The brothers' first balloon flew more than 6,500 feet in the air, but the future of hot air ballooning would see many changes.
It wasn't a real safe operation by any means.
229 years later, times sure have changed.
We have a good job. We're lucky to do what we do, and I do enjoy it, but there's a lot more that goes with it.
It is 4:45 a.m., and hot air balloon pilot Jeff Geiger and his ground crew are hard at work. He lets off what they call pie balls.
I let off a lot of test balloons, a lot of helium balloons to see which way the winds are going, and I do a lot of dry runs where I go out there, try to fly, and if it just isn't right. And in the old days, I used to be up there when I wished I was on the ground. And it's better to be on the ground wishing you were in the air than in the air wishing you were on the ground. That's an old saying, and it's true. And we're going to go try to catch the sunrise. What we're going to do is...
His passengers show, and there's a quick orientation. Then they're on the road for a 3-hour adventure.
We fly early in the morning. As soon as the sun comes up, we want to be in the air. We want to fly that first hour or 2 of daylight before things get hot and unstable.
It's the clock he's trying to beat. The goal is to be in the air by sunrise. Flying in Traverse City always has its challenges.
The challenges here are the winds coming off the lakes a lot of time. We get a lot of drainage, a lot of offshore flow in the mornings going out to sea, so it's going to drag you out there if you're not careful. After 25, 26 years of doing it up here, I'm starting to catch on. But there is a lot of days where you could fly other places in the state and you probably wouldn't want to do a flight in Traverse City. Then along with that, we have a lot of hills. We have a lot of antennas.
The crew and even the passengers make quick work of getting the balloon ready.
I'm looking to make sure they're untangled, and they travel freely. We do get people that are apprehensive about getting in the basket. Heights is a big issue. The fact that we don't really have any real control which way we're going, that's an issue for them.
But getting in the basket is many people's dream. And before you know it...
Oh, look at that sunrise, guys.
You don't feel anything at all when you're going up. It ascends a couple hundred feet a minute on average.
And just as graceful as a cloud floating through the air, you suddenly find yourself surrounded by beauty. And really nothing to worry about.
When you go up in an airplane, you don't get to see this view out of those little tiny windows, but here you've got an unobstructed view, and it's awesome.
I love it. I love being able to make people's dreams come true. I love the relations I have up here with the people. Michigan's got some great opportunities to fly, and I just happen to think Northern Michigan is one of the coolest. It's got a lot of opportunity, a lot of flights that you can't do anywhere else. Where can you get across the bays like this?
Oh, we're having the time of our life. Yeah, this is breathtaking.
I love it. I love being able to make people's dreams come true. I'm lucky to do what I like to do here. Yeah, real fortunate.
Don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging thousands of feet up. Next, we show you how they land.